Bryan Danielson, in other news, eats tree sperm.
That's a headline.
That's a headline.
Can we? This clip is named Daniel Bryan eats tree sperm.
Tree sperm. Apparently,
and so do you.
His vegan diet that he's casually going back into now, because I remember he stopped, and then I guess he's gonna do it now again.
Whatever. Long story short is that fruits are sperm. Nerd, just eat your damn fruit. Why you gotta say that? I ain't gonna be eating no tree nut. Yeah. Yo, you want these nuts? Yeah, like, no, I guess, maybe. I don't know. I like apples. Like, now what? Now what? I'm supposed to look at apples the same way? That just wasn't, like, I wasn't jiving with that before. Why would I, like, now it's cool. All right, well, I guess I'm into tree semen.
Oh, my God.
I like, apparently I like tree semen juice.
Tree semen juice, hey. I drink the juice rather than eat the fruit. That's what she said. That's how they produce other trees. Most fruits are semen. Real fruits are semen because they contain the seed inside of them. In theory, that has to be planted into the ground for another tree to grow. That's quote unquote Daniel Bryan. Holy shit. Holy shit and right. And speaking of shit, CM Punk believes that he can agree with you on the one hand that Hulk Hogan is a bigger star than Steve Austin, but he still thinks he is the piece of shit that he is.
Right. To CM Punk's greater point, right? He says it's all subjective. He's absolutely right, right? I've talked to a lot of people that, despite whatever happened, for a plethora of reasons, Hulk Hogan will forever be their favorite wrestler, right? Like, there's just no changing it. So
that's just how it works.
Yeah, maybe if you measured you did long-term statistics and you got everybody down, longitudinal studies, and you figured it all out, yeah, maybe Hulk Hogan is a bigger star. He's also probably a bigger piece of shit. Like, there's a golden ratio to piece of shittiness and star power in Hulk Hogan's fucking case, on his scale. Hulk Hogan, no matter what you do, you're still 3 times shittier than your star power.
Hogan comes from an era where they like to just keep the man down and keep guys in the spotlight and don't reach my level of stardom, right? He says, fuck that. I'm here at AEW to change that. I want to help them get there. And I guess he's doing that, right? Darby's on his way now. Who's next, right? That's the question. That's what he's here for. It's going to work.
I mean,
good job.
I don't care. I don't care what they do with CM Punk. I really don't. I think they'll find something interesting. I mean, I like the Taz angle. And do you realize, like, we're not fully done with, like, even though CM Punk, like, beat Darby or whatever, that's not, like, a thing that's a closed book.
Right. That can go on for a bit, too.
Now we got all of Team Taz. We got, like, a couple things going on for CM Punk. The possibility of wrestling Sting. Because that was something that was mentioned once. It was you know what I mean? So things that can happen that have nothing to do with a title, nothing to do with like CM Punk is not at the top of the card. You realize this. You know what I mean? Like he's really, I mean, you could say Daniel Bryan and the Champion opened the show, right? There's just fucking pre-show motherfuckers, but that was a booking decision. This is different. Like CM Punk, like hard lines that second act,
and the pop, right?
Yep.
Whose pop is louder though? His or Daniel's? Ooh, what's gonna happen when they both square off again?
I hope they take their time with that. I hope
No, that's something I want to see later and shit. And look at that. I have so much options at this buffet before we get to those kind of dream matches, right? Like, holy shit, man. These legends want to touch and square off against each other. He said Adam Cole.
Baby.
CM Punk said Adam Cole. And oh my God. ROH legends right there. This is gonna be something to watch. AEW really hitting them out the park with so much talent joining in. Next guy up could be, drum roll please, Grand Metalik come on down. He asked for his release from WWE. Ya era bueno, ya estaba bueno, ya coño.
I'm surprised this didn't come sooner. I mean, what was he doing there?
Well, man, they not using you
right, and then it goes just to deeper, like, what the fuck is WWE doing? Like, now, Roman Reigns is on 2 shows. Now, like, Bobby Lashley's on 2 shows. Now, like, you only have, remember, like, 6 wrestlers? Like, you only got 6 wrestlers now that are fucking on 2 shows doing shit? What's going on? Like, what's your roster looking like right now, dog? Like, what's your on-TV rotation looking like right now? What is it, like, dead ass? What is it looking like?
Dead.
It's fucking...
Dead ass.
What are we talking
dead,
about?
Comma, ass, comma.
Why aren't talented folk getting put on TV? I understand, like, yo, it's it's 2-way street. You got to be interesting to get put on TV, but you got to be given something interesting to be put on TV. You know what I mean? Like, it's a 2-way street. Yo, Naomi, where's she at? She got a little time, but, like, come on.
Here's a perfect example, man. AEW's getting it right. They're getting it right everywhere. Let me tell you. I didn't like that women's championship that Britt Baker's carrying around. So you know what they did? Fuck it, we're gonna give you another one. We're gonna call it the TBS Women's Championship.
The TBS.
And that's what we're doing.
I know what it is already. I know what it looks like. Have you seen it?
Nah, I haven't seen it.
It's the first AEW Women's Championship.
Oh, is it?
Nah, I'm just kidding. They're gonna give you a bracelet. It's fucking smaller.
Secondary tier title to the original women's title. That's interesting here, right? Because I don't think I've seen, other than indies, other promotions as well, but like WWE doesn't have a women's intercontinental title, right? This would be the equivalent to that.
That's dope. Why not? Their roster's deep. These women need matches. Like, they, God bless AEW Dark, but that's like 80 matches in an hour. It's fucking...
I want to see them. I want to see them spread out the talent more. I want to see more storylines for different talent on different shows. But I understand what they're doing here. And they also have being the elite. And you guys got to do yourself the service of following with that and checking them out. What? Being the elite keeps you posted and updated.
On a lot of things, but mostly like elite things. Right? So like we're talking about like Young Bucks, Omega, right? Like the top of the card, sometimes Cody Rhodes, sometimes like whatever. The people in the main storylines are usually on it. Right? This is like the top tier. Like Rusev isn't always on that shit. You know what I mean?
No.
Or Miro. Fuck. I keep doing that. But there's also like the 100 of other individual blogs and vlogs and posts, and in essence that's the beauty of AEW, is that they allow people to do that. Carry this shit out. Sammy's got his vlog, right? Even like
Fuego del Sol, successful before,
fucking has a blog. Motherfuckers use the internet to do storylines, right? Like motherfuckers on Twitter going back and forth, pushing shit forward. Nyla Rose is such a beast, the native beast, with her thumbs, dog. With her she is a savage. Damn. Dog, it's, you know what I mean? Like that's the beauty of it, and I think that's the part that like WWE doesn't grasp, is that if you allow your talent more freedom, like everybody wins.
Well, I feel WWE has been able to get away with sports entertainment for so long. And now, hopefully, that pro wrestling is knocking out the door and is coming out here and making noise. Who, by the way, claimed New York this past 24 hours ago with Eddie Kingston preaching to the fucking masses after the fact. They claimed New York, WWE. They claimed New York.
In only the way that Eddie Kingston would, could, and should. Tell me otherwise. What are you going to tell me? That they sold out Madison Square Garden, WWE? That, like, when they go to Barclays, they sell out? Like, dog. A nerd. Alright. Oh, WWE actually, like, per capita makes more money. Stop being such a dork. Look at like test the fucking wind, dog. Like, check it. The winds are changing. This shit is going in a different direction, and that's what we're talking about. Yeah, all right, yeah, WWE has more fans per square mile up my anus. Like, it's, when we're talking about, like, in actuality, what it feels like is more important than statistics sometimes. It's called your gut. And when you look at it, and I got plenty of gut to go around, but when you look into your gut and you see what you see, and you feel, and you felt it at Arthur Ashe, not to say you didn't feel it at MSG, because when WWE was at MSG, you felt that shit too, no doubt. No doubt. But when you saw Arthur Ashe Stadium go crazy for Grand Slam, even just the opening fucking like 2 minutes of the show, that shit hit different. That's huge. And now you make tremendous booking decisions against a company that's not really interested in what creative feels like long term, because I'll just change the story tomorrow and I insult your intelligence, and what happens? Then that dumb fuck that Tony Khan was talking about, that loves the WWE product and is blind to it, he's just feeding him the same shit. That's the same. Yes. That's why before everything even came out, it was right in front of you, dog.
It's the same sandwich, my man.
It's the same. I see you in that sandwich. You don't need to know what's in it. It comes the same. Whether you know the ingredients or not. You want to order something else? That's another sandwich.
That's another sandwich.
Así no viene este sándwich. Ese otro sándwich. Pídame otro. If you want another sandwich, go eat another sandwich. But if you're looking at wrestling, that it's got to be a certain thing, like, yo, everything is being really shaped up pretty well, packaged pretty good here in AEW. And then you look,
fan is a dangerous species.
Remember, all empires fall, dog. Windows, Microsoft was king, right? And someone came out with something shinier. It was a little nicer looking, not necessarily a better product, but it was shiny and new. And look what happened. Everyone's got an iPhone. I love iPhone. That's my jam.
And you can't really, truly fool anybody anymore, right? And especially now, the crowds have just adapted now. The game is different. It's all changed. Leading the bumps. That poor guy you were just mimicking, Mischief, sounded like he couldn't take a bump and never took a bump in his life. He's about to take one now, because that guy surely has no college education, let alone $5 in his bank account. AEW fans, on the contrary, according to Tony Khan, spend a little more and educate themselves a little more, chances are, according to the statistics. Making me think a lot.
Yo, change that fucking face mask. Yo, the eyes were doper, yo. That shit was fire. That shit is fire. I don't know about y'all, but that's dope. All right, relax. All right. Duh. That was the point. Duh. AEW fans are more educated. Without knowing that as a fucking statistic, again, a statistic that was researched by the guy who most benefits from a positive fucking study. Right. Just saying. All right. But, you know, you could make numbers say whatever you want to say, and I'm not saying that they were good or bad. I don't know what they were like. I didn't run the study, but the fact of the matter is that he's gonna say what most benefits him. But even you put the data aside, if someone just casually said that to me, they just said, "Yo, I think like AEW fans are probably smarter. They're probably more educated." I would have guessed that too. I think that's pretty... In
terms of wrestling, yeah.
In terms of life? I feel like... yeah, I think you're dumb. I think if you watch WWE and you like getting branded by a fucking hot-ass cast iron every fucking Monday and Friday... Well, at least Friday's alright. But every Monday...
Been popping. I like what they're doing with Roman.
You like that shit?
Is nice. It's a good feel on SmackDown.
But just as you interact with certain groups of people on the internet and you see who you were talking to and people are fans of what and what they comment on, and like you're like, damn, these people are fucking dumb. And then you kind of say that about most of the internet, just generally. But when you break it down, you're like, yo, WWE fan. Hashtag WWE fan. Fan my whole life. Lifelong WWE. Like, it's not like wrestling fan. Oh, I'm a wrestling fan. No. I'm a WWE fan. I eat what they spit. That's my jam.
That's my jam.
That's my jam. Yeah, that's what I believe. So even before that statistic came out. And then with that being said, they make more money. Yeah, they're smarter. So, okay. So it makes sense to me. I didn't need to run the study that was a lie anyway. So yeah, I'm dumb. Stop being dumb.
I love the back and forth. I love the banter. I love the competition now, because this was not happening a couple years ago. We didn't have this. To
wrap that point up, the very end of it was like, yeah, people gonna be mad at that.
Yeah. He says that. You can go ahead and be mad at that one too.
Yeah. He knew.
Mad at that one too.
He knew. He was like, so jabs to your point.
He's just Impact promo y'all right now.
Next Thursday on Dynamite. Next Thursday on Dynamite. Next Thursday on Dynamite.
I miss those, man. I miss them shits.
Tony Khan, man.